welcome to Trial Room Session 1. We've been in session with Pruthvi today and Siana, who have just blown us away with this beautiful song. You're going to hear it soon.
Yeah.
It's called Strangers on the Internet. And yeah, man, that was such a beautiful process to see you all kind of get comfortable in the studio, and I remember you all ran it a few times to practice it. And what was happening there? What do you think? What do you think it was like to get into the studio with that song? Since you said it's new.
I think because we haven't gotten the time to practice really. So
Yeah.
we only met over the weekend, maybe twice or thrice for this song.
For this song, yeah.
And every time we met, it was different.
Yeah.
And it was different today as well,
Right.
from what we practiced last Sunday. So I think every time we've met, it's just gotten better.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty happy with it.
I was super happy with it as well. It was amazing.
Thanks.
I'm glad you all were happy with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is the song about?
Okay, so I wrote this song I think a few months ago, and I was kind of in between a few things,
Yeah.
and I also had a lot of time on my hand, so I was like, hey, you know what, let's just surf the internet. And I realized that I'm talking to a bunch of people, and some conversations go somewhere and some don't.
Yeah.
And the conversations that go somewhere get back to square one, which
Okay.
is what I've experienced so far. Every person that I met.
Are you talking about people on dating sites or
No, I'm
just
talking
random?
in general. Even
Okay.
people that I've been friends with maybe on the internet,
Right.
we lose touch and
Okay.
you're back to it. You're finding new people or, just people
You're-
to talk to, basically.
Right. They live short. You mean the relationships on the
Yeah,
internet?
yeah, definitely.
I do.
Yeah, so every time that has happened, I'm back to square one when I'm talking to somebody new, or
Yeah.
it's the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
And that is what I think I was trying to talk about in this song.
Yeah.
It's just you talk to a stranger on the internet, you have a good time, you're back to it again,
Yeah.
maybe a few months from now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just about that.
Yeah. What do you think, Siana? Do you like making friends online, or is it something that we've gotten so used to now that we don't think about it as deeply as,
I barely make friends in general, so to make friends on the internet, it's quite a task. It's a lot of, because you're not able to feel that person's presence. It's hard to
Yeah.
understand what really is there, and sometimes, very rarely, you might, but and it works for some people, but
Yeah.
it's quite a task to understand what's really happening there, or if it's the person itself, that's another thing. And you can't really see, you can't understand what's going on, so
Yeah.
it's very hard to tell.
Yeah. Have you ever checked out Omegle? Is it Omegle or is it Omegle? It's Omegle, yeah. Have you ever checked that out?
Yeah.
I've only ever seen it in have you been, what was your experience like?
Just a lot of things.
Okay, do you not want to say it on camera?
I don't think it's gonna make through the final cut.
I know this will, but yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to sing this song to strangers on the internet.
It would. It would. That makes sense. I'm gonna use it for the promo.
Yeah, you should use it for the promo. What's your process like?
I think every time I've tried to write something, I have a bunch of ideas down. Usually, this is what I felt today, this is what I felt a month ago. And if I feel I want to revisit it, which I have to think about a lot before I revisit it,
Yeah.
I go back to it. And if I can write it, I write it. If I can't, I don't force myself at all. And sometimes, so the EP that I wrote, I was just going through a breakup. And the thing is, I'm really bad at expressing my emotions, just talking about things. And I just picked up the guitar, I had a riff, and I just started writing. And I felt that is the best closure I could give him also, was the song.
Right.
So I think that is the basic process of it. Either
Right.
it comes to me or I just have to go back to something and try to write it.
I feel we were talking about this a little earlier before,
Yeah.
while we were just in a break, and we were talking about how sometimes we don't know what we are singing about in a
Yeah.
song until later and go damn, I was going through these emotions. and
Yeah.
it's quite cathartic to like just let loose and
And
let words come to like music that's also making you feel emotion.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also, I think just before we started rolling, we were talking about something. I think like so many things that we've spoken about today has been so interesting that
Yeah.
I kind of want to go call back to all of it. But
Definitely.
yeah, every time you visit like an emotion, you kind of see it from a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
And it could complete the song that you
Yeah, definitely.
are feeling and you just don't quite know it.
Yeah.
What's one song like or one thing that you always want to write about but you haven't got into it just yet?
I don't think I've written like a happy song yet. I think I would want to explore that. I've been in that slow pace for now. And I feel, as you said earlier, the conversation that we were having, you can't write about something you're not feeling.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I've just not been happy for a while, maybe. But it's also that it just doesn't come to me like naturally.
Right.
So I don't try to force it. But it is definitely something that I want to explore.
I mean, I feel like that comes back, like you could be a happy person, but you might not write happy songs.
Definitely, yeah.
Right.
So like every time I meet my friends and I'm just around them and I'm just looking at everybody smile and I'm like, dude, this is such a great feeling, like having everybody that I love.
Right.
And everybody's around me, everybody's happy. Like I want to write about it this very moment, the way I'm feeling right now,
Yeah.
the way they are making me feel. But I just like haven't had the right words to like put it
Yeah.
out, I guess.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is something that I would want to get around.
Sometimes when you are sharing things that are not as happy, they can get confrontational maybe.
Yeah, it's also a scary place to be because you're suddenly like vulnerable and then
Yeah.
it's again like depends on choice. If you're okay being vulnerable, if you're comfortable to take that leap, and
Yeah.
but if you're not, then you prefer to keep that like to yourself or to more like a closer circle, and then
Yeah.
but if you are comfortable with being vulnerable, then like and then you share it and then you feel more closer to that, more
Yeah.
human and more connected to that person in some way, that
Yeah.
you're also going through something and
Yeah.
you also like have to deal with these kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's why songs kind of connect so many people.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
Right.
Like there are
Crazy.
friends that I only share songs with. We don't even talk. It's just sending each other
Yeah.
songs. That's it.
As a songwriter, you go through things and you also go through like trying and then falling, and like what are the things that you've taken away from, say, putting out your last E EP?
Wow, that's a deep ass question. I mean, a lot has changed since I've put the songs out, or even since I wrote the songs. I like the people that I wrote about in the EP or on the EP. They know that it's about them because there are just things that make it so evident, things that have happened, or just like little details that only two people know, two people
Yeah.
share, right? So I don't know. I don't like to listen to my own music, but every time that I do, I am happy, even though the songs are like on a sadder note.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like it's like a feeling you like to reminisce, I guess.
Yeah.
Like even though a chapter's over,
Yeah.
there were happy parts as
Yeah.
as well as the sad ones. But the happy parts do make you happy even in the future, right? When you think about them, like, oh yeah, I was in a good place. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that is pretty much what I got back.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about this, and you were mainly into writing poems or like lyrics in general, and you hadn't really like played music till until the lockdown. So like, how was that as a process for you?
So I just remember my brother playing the guitar. Like I think I was 13, and I don't know how old he was, but he started playing the guitar, and he just asked me to like, hey, let's jam, like just sing, and that we did that for a while, and I always knew I was into it, but I didn't think I could write or even like actually sing for that matter, because the only people who knew that I could sing were my friends, and your friends are gonna hype you up no matter what. So
Really, you have really nice friends. Those are the nice kind of friends to have. Yeah.
they definitely are, but you know, you need like a foreign opinion to
Yeah.
tell you that, hey dude, you do actually sing well.
Yeah.
So that happened to me like this one time. A friend from college told me, and I was like, oh, he doesn't have any like, you know, a motive to like be nice to me. There's no
Right.
reason for him to
Right.
tell me that.
It's probably genuinely.
Yeah,
like, saying
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And I remember, I think like the lockdown had happened, and I used to play the ukulele a little bit, but that was pretty much it. And I just remember everybody blowing up on Instagram Reels at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, dude, I feel a little left out right now.
Yeah.
And I did a few covers of the uke, and then I was like, it feels very repetitive. And then I picked up the guitar at that point, and I just remember practicing the F chord, the bar chord. That was
It's
the
like
first
the
bar.
toughest.
Yeah, exactly.
Toughest break in that wall. Yeah.
Definitely. And just like doing that for a while, and eventually, as most people did in the lockdown, I went through a breakup, and I was like, hey, let's write about that now. You know, so that's pretty much my story.
So that's the EP. That's the breakup from the EP.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, so I guess like since you said you started playing music, so it was also writing songs.
That was the main thing, I think.
That
for
happened
me. Yeah,
in the lockdown.
Definitely, yeah.
That's beautiful, man. I feel like it's something that you were just meant to walk into, and like, cause it doesn't sound naive. Like there is layers of emotion to it,
Oh, definitely.
and the melody and the chords that work well together. So that's really cool. So like in the lockdown, so I remember I had like this routine, like you know, like you had to keep yourself sane. It was not like, I'm not a very disciplined person, but I would somehow end up producing music in the night. So like, do you have like a preferred time of day that you write in?
I think because at night everybody's asleep, there's like no background noise.
Right.
And also, I guess you can just hear your thoughts very clearly at that point of time. And like, because in the morning it's like, and especially living in an Indian household, it's like everybody's doing something in the morning.
Right.
So I think nighttime is like the most peaceful time I could have that time to myself, and nobody's going to be disturbing me for a while.
What about you, Sienna? Do you like have a time of day that do you enjoy playing guitar? Because I feel like even like scales like have moods, right? And in Hindustani music, at least, they tell you like certain rags are like sing it in the morning or sing it in early afternoon, or like, I mean early evening. Do you have like a...
I used to, so it depends again, like there's some kind of things where I like doing in the night when it's just like, you know, free flowing. I think the ideas like flow better in the night, and it's just you're able to express more easily for some reason. Mornings feel more structured, and you know, where you can push through the stuff that you have to get through, like some kind of things you just have to do in music. And so nights feel like more the space where it's a little relaxed and you can just keep going without
explore.
You can explore. It's not so much of the nitty-gritty. It's just like it's free flowing and it's very peaceful. Yeah,
that's nice. Practice in the day, create in the night. I like that. It's a good formula. Okay, I think another question is, what's one of your aspirations as a songwriter that you think you'd like to get to at some point or explore?
I think I'd really, really like to write for Doja Cat.
Yeah,
I think
right.
That is like, it's not the type of music I've ever written.
Right.
Or I didn't even think I'd ever get close to that. But it's just like something about the way she puts down words. Like, I just want to be in a room with her and her writers and just like know what the process, like how are you coming up with these lyrics? Like, what is making you think about it?
Like, moo.
I was just thinking about that. It's like, as like stupid as it sounds, you want to say it. Like, it's just lyrics that are stuck in your head, and it works.
I think she's a genius. Very intentional. All of that is intentional stuff. Last question. What's one artist like you feel you've been listening to, and like, you know, you think that they're doing an amazing job, and you just like want to give a shout out to them, or like make people aware of them?
Okay, so I've been listening to this song called Love Really Hurts Without You.
Okay.
It's by Billy Ocean. I don't know if you know him.
Billy Ocean?
Yeah. I don't think
I do.
You do?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
But yes, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I found it like very recently, about 2-3 days ago, and I'm very, very positive that it's going to be on my most heard song of 2022.
So yeah, you had a song. What about you, Sienna? Thank you, Pruthvi.
like I listen to music based off like lyrics also a lot.
Yeah.
But I think of late, I've been listening to Tejas a lot lately.
Okay.
John Mayer is always on my playlist.
Okay.
And I've been listening to Wolfpack
Cool.
Yeah, I think these things off the top of my playlist.
Shout out Tejas. Shout out Johnny. Shout
Johnny.
out Wolfpack. Yeah, like I always assumed and dreamed that I'd be on a first name basis with John
With
Muir,
John
so
Muir.
I am now. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for doing this. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us. It was great.
My pleasure.
And he
Yes.
means it.
Yes,
and
I do.
so do we. Cut.
Got it.